Hi everyone, my name is Cameron and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So yes, this is very exciting, well for me at least, because it's my first video, which is, you know, thrilling. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing the BookTube newbie tag, but first I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and what this channel is going to be. So as I said, my name is Cameron, I'm 17 years old and I'm non-binary and I live in the UK, as you can tell by my ridiculously posh accent. Next year I'm going to be going to year 13, which if you don't know, is the last year of British secondary school. So this is, as well as being a BookTube channel, as I obviously love books, it's also going to be a bit of a StudyTube channel as I like take you on my journey of, you know, doing my A-levels, which are the big exams kind of equivalent to SATs in America, I think, but don't quote me on that. And also applying to unis, hopefully getting into a uni and doing a bit of like stuff like that. So you'll be able to see my journey and I'll be able to document it, which is quite nice. I'm also a writer, which makes me sound very professional. I promise I'm not, I just do it for fun. I write a lot of books I don't put anywhere, but I also write a lot of books that I post online. I also have just started writing scripts and stuff. So I've written a script recently and I performed it with a couple of my friends. That was a lot of fun, so I hope to do that again soon. Whilst we're talking about scripts, I'm also an actor, or an aspiring actor at least. I might be talking about that sometime in the future as well. So yeah, basically this channel is just going to be a weird mix of talking about books, mostly, don't worry. I'm primarily a book nerd. Studying, StudyTube, writing and AuthorTube, and also like LGBT stuff, and like my experience being LGBT and etc. So just, yeah, out of those things, comment which one you're interested in, by the way. I'm intrigued to know. I think that's all I wanted to say, so let's get started with the question. So question one is, why did you start this channel? When I say that I've been wanting to start a BookTube channel for years, I mean for years. I have videos saved on my phone from actual, like, at least 3 or 4 years ago of my first video that I never posted. To answer the question, because that didn't at all apparently, I started this channel just to talk about books, because I like books and I like reading, and I have a lot of friends who also like books but not nearly as much as I do, and I really just wanted to make some friends who do, and who will like listen to me just blab about how much I love things, because I'm one of those people who get, when they like something, they get very passionate about it, and I am definitely one of those people, especially since we're in lockdown right now. I don't really get to talk to anyone anyway. It's just nice to have some sort of like outlet to talk about the stuff that I love. And also, you know, be nice to recommend some books, be nice to have some books recommended to me, I don't know. Just seems like a lot of fun. People who do this always seem to have fun, and I want to have fun too, so this is why I'm doing this. Question 2 is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Not a lot, I'm not very interesting, but as I did say, I also plan to like merge this channel with other stuff like StudyTube and AuthorTube and queerness and stuff like that. So hopefully that might be a bit interesting, I don't know. I'm also, as I said, non-binary, so a bit of a different perspective I feel is always nice. I don't see many non-binary YouTubers. I know there are some, and they're great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we always need more. We always need more representation, so that is what I'm providing. Question 3 is, what are you most excited for about this channel? Honestly, just to talk and to meet people. I think those are my top 2. To be able to share my interests and share my love and have people actually listen to me, and to meet people who share the love of books with me. I always hear stories about how people have met some of their best friends over BookTube, and I think that's so cute and lovely, and I just like, I'm always jealous, so I was like, but I said to myself, you're never gonna do that if you don't actually start a BookTube channel, so here I am, starting. Question 4 is, why do you love reading? Okay, so I love reading for a multitude of reasons, none of which are original. I think it's mainly the fact that I can be someone else and see another point of view and be inside someone else's head. That's like a superpower. You can never do that in real life. And I can explore places that I can never go to, and some of which don't even exist, you know? I can have this whole exciting life in a matter of hours that I would never be able to have otherwise. It's such a unique experience. The characters that I meet through literature are some of my favourite people I've ever, you know, met. It's just amazing, I think. It's something that you can never get anywhere else, and am eternally grateful for reading. I could talk about why I love it for hours and hours and hours, and I'm not going to bore you with that, but it's great. Okay, question 5. What series got you into reading? And actually, to be honest, I think it was the Magic Fairy books, which I read when I was like 4 years old. I've been reading for a very long time. I'm not one of those people who suddenly had an epiphany in their teens and decided they suddenly love reading. I've loved reading for as long as I can remember, and it definitely started with that like 200 or something long series of books this big that are just about, you know, different fairies and their adventures. What were their names? Rachel and someone on this little island. I don't know if you've ever known them. I don't know how mainstream they are, but definitely they got me into reading. I remember binging like several of them in a day and just like falling in love. And I've been reading ever since. That's the first book series I ever remember like properly loving, even though it was, you know, I read it when I was 4, and I think that speaks for itself. The first thing I ever like remember absolutely adoring was Harry Potter, but we're not talking about that because I'm non-binary and J.K. Rowling. And also Percy Jackson as well, by Rick Riordan. Percy Jackson was what got me into like fandom culture, I would say, so definitely I attribute that series to me loving reading as much as I do, because I definitely don't think I would if I hadn't found a reading community. Question 6 is, what would you ask your favourite booktubers? If I saw my favourite booktubers, I think I would run away. I'm a very like, I don't know, the idea of meeting people who I admire terrifies me. I don't like it. I don't want them to know I exist. I feel like I would just embarrass myself. And honestly, I feel like all of the questions I would ask have been answered by them in like Q&As and stuff, but probably just something like, can we be friends? If they had any tips for me, I would gladly take it, just about life. Obviously quite a lot of them are older than me. I feel like I'm quite a young. So probably like life skills. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where you have to be in the moment to know what you would say. I'm bad at judging what I would do in front of famous people. Anyway, yeah, that's such a bad answer, but it's what I would do. Question 7 is, what challenges about starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome for you? Definitely 110% posting. Not consistently, just getting the courage to do so. I've made a lot of videos. I've filmed a lot of videos, a lot of YouTube videos. I've titled them all my first video. Have I ever posted any of them? No. There is a high percentage likelihood this one won't even be posted. I made one literally a couple of weeks ago and didn't post that. I'm very scared. I don't know why. It's dumb. I know that it's dumb because I can post on everything and anything else, and it's not the fact that I'm showing my face. It's not the fact that I'm talking, because I do that a lot. I'm an actor. I have to do it. It's what I do. I have made millions of self-tapes. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I've done a lot of self-tapes, some for very famous people. I've had a lot of, you know, judgment from people. I've performed things live. I've done a lot of stuff. And I don't know why I'm scared, but I am. And it's definitely it. It's the courage to post, because the thing is, it's not like I'm not confident either. I feel like I'm quite a confident person. People always tell me I come across quite confident. Don't know what it is. It's very annoying, but it's that. So yes, and also being consistent, because I'm not very good at that. Question 8 is, when did you start reading? I think I've already answered this question. Forever. I didn't stop. There was never like a moment where I started. My parents were reading to me forever, and then as soon as I could read by myself, I was doing so. Biff and Chip in year 2, anyone remember? Yes. I've always been like a good reader as a kid, I don't know. We had to write down how many pages we read each day in our homework diaries. And people would always like be very judgmental about the fact that I apparently had no life even as like a 7-year-old. I would just be reading forever. I can't remember a time when I didn't read or wasn't being read to. I hope that answers the question. Question 9 is, where do you read? The answer is right here. If you can't tell, this is my bed. It's actually not looking too bad. I'll give you a little tilt of the camera. Yeah, I have my bookshelves here, and it's very nice to read it. I also have a chair behind the camera, which is a lot more messy, so I'm not going to show you that. But I also like to read there. My TBR shelf is there. This is my red shelf. So it's quite nice to read under my TBR shelf, but I also really like my bed, and I'm also lazy, so I like to sit here quite a lot. So yes, here in my room. If it's nice and sunny outside and it's not too hot, I'll go outside. Question number 10 is, what kind of books do you read? Basically anything and everything. I used to be quite selective about what I like to read. It was like fantasy, well, YA fantasy specifically, but now I kind of feel like I'm opening up a bit to what I like reading. A lot of my favourite books are stuff that I would never have thought I would have liked when I was a bit younger. There are lots of like adult books that I found that I loved, like V.E. Schwab's Vicious series, Strange for the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I'm just looking at the camera. The Binding by Bridget Collins. If We Were Villains, Mario. A lot of the stuff that I love now, I wouldn't have thought I would love, so I'm pretty much open to anything. Yeah, I don't read a lot of non-fiction, but I would like to read more. But yeah, basically everything. My favourite genre is still fantasy, but I like other stuff as well. I love dark academia. I've just started to get into that. It's great. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, probably my favourite book of all time. One of my favourite books of all time is definitely If We Were Villains, which is a great dark academia book. Very pretentious, but great. I've really enjoyed it. So yes, that answers that question. That's the end. I did not realise that was the end until I got to the end. That's so sad. Well, okay, that's it. That is the end of this video. Thank you for watching my BookTube Newbie tag. I very much hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumb me. Sound like Dan Howell. If you did, give this video a like. Comment, what did I say at the beginning? Oh, which of those other things apart from BookTube you will be most interested in. And whether you have a BookTube channel, because then I'll check it out. Thank you very much for watching. I will hopefully see you soon. I'll hopefully see you in the first place, if this video is uploaded or not. Goodbye.